Hello guys, this is Mike from McProgramming.org. In the last video, I showed you how to make a route resource so we have all of these methods at our disposal to dealing with blogs so we can edit them, create them, update them, delete them, and so on. What I want to do now is I want to be able to create a new blog, and I'm going to break this up into a two-part video where the first one I'm just going to be setting up our application to bring in a new facade from the HTML builder in FormBuilder so we can use the form facade. So what we need to do first is we need to be able to bring that in to our project. But before I even do that, I'm just going to create the view that we're going to need. So first what we're going to do is just return the view. And I'm going to call this blogs.create. And we're going to go into our views, blogs, and inside of here we're going to have a new file, and we're going to call that create blade.php. And just like all the other views, we're going to extend our layouts.master page, and we need a section for the content that will be yielded into the layouts.master page. And let's end that. Alright, and a form generally is written like this. Form, and you open and close it, and we can have our inputs and our submit button and so on, and we can do it this way, but I want to use facades. And we already have looked at a few facades such as route right here. This is a route facade. So let's go back here, and instead of the basic HTML, I want to be able to use the form facade. So let's go about adding that to our project real quick. We're going to go back to our terminal, and what we need to do is we need to actually add that in through Composer. So we're going to say Composer require illuminate HTML. This may take a minute. Alright, cool. So if you did it correctly, you should have all of this right here. We installed Illuminate HTML. So what is Illuminate HTML? Let's go back to our browser, and we're going to look at the Illuminate HTML package real quick. And this comes with a form builder, a form facade, an HTML builder, and HTML facade. Right now, we're not going to use the HTML facade, but we are going to be using the form facade to create our form to be able to create our new blog. So let's go back to Sublime Text, and what we need to do is we need to be able to go into our config app.php, and we're going to go down to where all of our service providers are registered. And what we're going to do is after this last one, which is our view service provider, we're going to add the Illuminate HTML service provider class. Cool. Save that, and let's go down to our aliases. And if you notice, I said that we had our route facade, and this alias right here for route is actually a short code for Illuminate Support Facades route class. So what we're doing here is we're just shortening up the syntax of what we need to do to be able to call these classes. So now let's add our form facade and our HTML facade to this array. What we're going to do first is form. We're going to point that to Illuminate HTML form facade class. And we're going to do the same thing for HTML. HTML and Illuminate HTML facade. And like I said, we're not going to be using this as of right now, but better to add it than to not, so if we do need it, we have it. So now that we have our facades available to us, we can start using these facades inside of our create.blade.php. So in the next tutorial, we're going to go in here and actually build the physical form. So just to see that this route is connected, let's just say something, create blog, and save that, and let's go to our browser, and oops, we got a fatal error, and it says that class app blog not found. Okay, I know exactly what we did. When we switched over blogs controller 1 to blogs controller, we didn't add the use statement for use app blog. Alright, so now that should work. Let's go back to Google Chrome, and it's running again. So now we're just going to add create to the end of this URL, and we get create blog. And before I let you go, let's add a link to this nav button right here. Let's go back to Sublime Text and go to nav.blade.php, and let's just copy this. Copy. And we are going to just replace index with create. Save it. Let's go back to Chrome, refresh. Let's click blogs to make sure that works, and let's click on create to see if that works. Cool. So in the next video, we're going to actually make the form to be able to submit a blog to the database.